Doctors of Reddit, what are the dead giveaway signs that someone is faking? Whenever the symptoms aren't there when the patient doesn't know they're being watched. I had someone fake a stroke recently and walked in on her walking around her room independently, after pretending to be limp on her left side, letting us take complete care of her and wiping her butt for her. It was wild, y'all. Why would anyone fake any of this stuff, but especially a stroke? What is the point? Dude, she didn't have to wipe her butt anymore. Totally worth it. S. Born to shit. No longer forced to wipe. That's a quote for the bathroom walls. I'm gonna put that up, thank you. My favorite thing about this thread is that half of the "here's how you know they're faking" comments get responses that are all, "yeah, about that, let me tell you how that assumption ducked me over and I almost died." Happens all the time. One time I was in hospital with decompression sickness, neurological damage, and I couldn't piss. I told a nurse I needed a catheter, which she did right away, and I filled 3-liter bags straight off. Anyway, she commented that if a man actually says he needs a long tube pushed up the hole in his penis, then you can be sure he needs it done. As a nurse, I have never received more gratitude from patients than when I catheterize then and 2 to 3 liters comes out. This makes me think about that people once died because they couldn't take a piss. Easy there, Stephen King. Not a doctor but a paramedic. Tons of calls to the jail for inmates with seizures. I lift the arm over their face and let it go. They'll move it to prevent hitting their face, or I'll lightly brush their eyelashes and they'll twitch to it. That's genius. I have had a few seizures and the injuries I've had from falling and thrashing are pretty legit. It would take a hell of a lot of dedication to fake those. That's the thing, though, people often don't fake them well. Someone I knew in nursing school had the experience of a patient who didn't realize they could be seen carefully getting out of bed, climbing over the bed railing to keep her from falling, laying down the floor, and then rolling around while screaming. If someone is unconscious, make a fist and rub your knuckles against their sternum, chest bone. Put some pressure behind it and rub quickly up and down, up towards chin, down towards belly button. It's called a sternal rub and is incredibly painful, but won't harm the person. It's very, very hard to completely ignore and continue with the ruse of faking being unconscious. The only more sure thing is asking your partner to hand you the eye needle to take some ocular fluid while they're passed out so they won't feel the pain of the needle in their eye. Ada, there's no ocular needle, at least not on an ambulance. We say that because not everyone knows that and they don't want to risk it. Ada 2, rip my inbox. Apparently the sternal rub isn't common practice anymore because people literally went too hard. Sorry. Also, I feel old AF now. My stepmom was passed out once and totally unresponsive, so we had to call an ambulance. I don't think she was faking, but when the EMT did a sternum press, she literally came back to life like Frankenstein. She was like Eric. Then took a deep breath. It was honestly so crazy. I was 19 and have still never seen anything like it. Lol edit. Sternum rub is name, I guess, my bad. I think you can be truly passed out and come to because of pain. I blacked out in basic and woke up to an instructor over me doing the sternum rub. It definitely can pull you out. Why are all these people doing sternum rubs on unconscious people? Isn't there a nicer way to wake someone up? Or is fake passing out more common than I think? It's a way of telling how unresponsive a person is. It's called the AVPU scale: A alert, V responsive to verbal stimuli, P responsive to painful stimuli, U unresponsive. If someone is responsive to painful stimuli, they will groan or move from the pain. If someone is complete unresponsive, they won't do anything at all. It's actually a super strange feeling pushing your knuckles into someone's sternum without them doing anything about it. To add, if they are not responsive at all to this, then they're in more danger and need to be placed into recovery position and an ambulance called ASAP. Unresponsive means some normal bodily protective functions aren't operating, and they're more likely to kill themselves by choking on their own saliva, etc. Yup. Saw a drunk guy slip in the rain in Vegas once. Landed flat on his back. Zero response to a sternal rub. Couldn't roll him because of the risk of a neck injury. It felt like I've never been so alert to someone's condition for minor changes while waiting the 10 minutes for the ambulance to get there with a neck collar. Luckily he survived, I was told, but cracked his skull pretty badly. My wife is a doctor and she had dealt with people faking things like one of their legs simply not working. The trick is to tell them to do some other thing with a positive phrasing, making it seem like doing so will prove the patient's story is true, while it proves the opposite. This works for both people who are actively faking it and people who have subconsciously convinced themselves the problem is real. For example, if they say their right leg can't move, you first ask them to try lifting it, which they try and obviously fail to move or flex any muscles in it. Then you act intrigued and say something like, "Now your left leg is the one that works fine, right? Go ahead and lift it up for me for comparison." While they are doing this, you still casually have your hand on their right leg, which you had placed there when you were feeling for any activity when they tried to lift it. Now when the person is laying there and lifts their left leg to prove their right one doesn't work, they will naturally flex their right leg to provide balance with their left leg in the air. If they are able to flex their right leg then but won't even flex it when they claim to be trying to move it, then you know their leg still works. You just have to narrow down if they realize are faking it intentionally. You can be faking good too. Had a tooth kicked out. Mouth filled with blood and swelling. I'd stuck a tissue in to try to stop the blood. I've presented to the triage at the dental hospital. I'm dribbling blood as I talk. She asked me if it hurts and I said a little bit. She looked at me dead in the eye and said one of the many things we triage on is pain. Gotcha. Good nurse. Hurts like a mother ducker. I've literally been kicked in the face. Thanks for that. Notes taken. Was patched up and out of there within an hour. Edit, rip inbox, lol, and thanks for the awards. Smile. I hate this, because I'm pretty injury prone, but also don't really exhibit pain that much as I've gotten older. Last time I broke my foot, it's happened a few times, I also didn't have insurance. It was one of the most painful injuries I'd ever had. Free clinics couldn't give anything more than NSAIDs or Tylenol. Again, I get injured a lot, so I have a pretty good idea of when it's going to take more than an Advil to get me through. I ended up going to an actual urgent care, and had to straight up tell them that no, I didn't need an x-ray, already had one that they were welcome to look at, but I straight up came to them because the pain was too much to bear and I needed real painkillers. Problem is, I don't really outwardly exhibit my pain, especially not for something like a broken bone, so I wasn't screaming or writhing in pain, or even grimacing, too much. I also make a lot of jokes when I'm hurt, because I feel weird about people being overly worried about me. It's a thing. She ended up giving me 3 Vicodin, which, fine, I made them last for the week, at which point the pain was starting to subside, but she also hated me for it. Had a friend like that with pain in high school metal shop. The guy literally snapped his thumb in half in the metal lathe and just looked annoyed. From the nail bed forward was hanging by a tiny flap of skin and the guy looked like he dropped his ducking sandwich. You've never seen me when I've dropped my sandwich, clearly. If someone is truly unconscious, their thumb always wiggle. Just say that out loud to yourself. Moms, I always know when you're lying because your ears turn red when you lie. Kids, cover their ears when they lie. I told my daughter that she gets a red spot on her forehead when she lies, so she started using her hand to cover her forehead when she lied. It's like how you can make anyone blush by claiming that they're blushing. The more they deny it, the harder they'll blush. I've had people ask why I'm blushing before when I wasn't. I never know what to tell them. That's just my ducked up face. Like, what do you want from me? Oh my god, I'm with you. I don't even blush nicely. I get this weird blotchy redness and random large splodges around my face neck. When people don't mention it, I'm more surprised than when they do. I even had someone ask if I was having an allergic reaction once. I was like, no, this is just my face. As a kid, I was always convinced people were BSing me when they said someone turned all red in their face when they were embarrassed and so on. Turns out I'm just colorblind and couldn't see the redness in their face. Sunburns are another thing I never believed manifested themselves on the skin other than being itchy. I'm not a physician but a paramedic. Honestly, I don't really care if you're faking as long as it's halfway believable. I'm still going to treat it as the worst case scenario. Faking a seizure. You'll get a full set of vitals, a blood sugar and a shot of benzos. Therese, lots of different types of seizures. If you call 911 because you're in extreme pain and want an ambulance ride, I'll put the good drugs in your vein hole. I'd rather give 100 drug seekers a 100 micrograms of fentanyl than withhold it for the one person that really needs it. Can I tell if someone is faking? Yeah, most times, but it goes both ways. If you go too hard, I might assume you have a legit life-threatening injury and sedate, paralyze and intubate you. Or start 4s in your jugular or shin bone. Fake it if you want, but traction may vary. Dude, one time I had a seizure, As the paramedics were getting me and I was starting to recover, I had saliva go down the wrong pipe and they started making fun of me for faking asking why I was coughing while I was half conscious. It wasn't cool. I feel like this kind of shit happens to me a lot with doctors or authority figures. I don't act right because I low-key feel so nervous being around other people. I might not tell the doc that the tricksy pressure on my sprain to test me actually really hurts because I'll think, yeah, it's sprain, they obviously know what they're doing hurts, but what if they need to do it for science reasons that I could about yet so. I hope they are aware of idiots like me in the field, just trying my best lol. I feel you. I am still always nervous going to any doctors. They always thought I was faking my stomach pain when they pushed on different parts of my stomach. I didn't know I was supposed to tell them which places it hurt in, dummy thought they were just feeling for something there. I'm just not the kind of person so say ouch every time I have pain.